Hi everyone, this is Mike and welcome back to my channel. So today also we are going to discuss about one particular company, one particular stock which has a good opportunity. So we'll discuss about the fundamentals, we'll discuss about the business and we'll see what is the opportunity what we have in this company from medium term and long term perspective. So in today's video we'll not discuss the chart because this stock is for long term basically. So we'll discuss the business in more detail and then fundamentals also a little bit in detail. But before I jump into the discussion of the stock, first and foremost, my apology for not putting up any videos this month. And one of the reason behind it is that I met a bike accident because of which I was not keeping that well. And there are other things as well which like crops up in the middle of work and everything. So there are a lot of reasons. So we'll not talk about the personal things. Overall, I'll try my best to keep my videos regular from now onwards so that we can share the information from time to time with everyone and we can all grow together and invest in stocks or manage our personal finance. So let's jump into the stock discussion. I'll minimize the window. So this is the company which we're going to discuss today, Marksans Pharma Limited. So this stock has been in a limelight for last 1.5 years, around 2 years post-COVID. The stock has grown a lot. If you just see the chart just to start with, if you see last 3 years, this stock was in somewhere it's in price of around. So this is not showing here. Let's scroll down. The price of around 11.75, the bottom price. The first time when I invested in the stock was at price of 20. Then I sold when it was around 49 or something. And after that, I didn't invest in the stock. Now I see the stock has corrected a lot, and we have a good opportunity over there in this stock. Before going to that opportunity part, let's jump into this business part first. So this company is a pharma-based company, and this is into different markets. If you see the markets which they are working on right now, so this is the markets: US, Europe, Southeast Asia, Africa, Russia and CIS, Latin America, Australia, and Asia. So these are the markets which this company is working right now. If you see, they have a very wide presence in all these companies. If you talk about the kind of industry and health and illness they have oncology and critical care medicines in this particular segment. They have medicines in the mind and nerves disorder, basically neurological and mental disorders. They have their medicines in skin infections and ulcers, gastrointestinal disorders. So gastroenterology is the field. Cough remedies, women's health, and bacterial infection and its treatment. So this company is into two kind of business medicines. One is RX and over the counter. RX goes for prescription based medicines, and over the counter is the OTC based medicines. So these are the two kind of business markets they are target basically. And also, if I tell you they don't create any injectables, that means they don't create any vaccines, they don't create any form of injectables. They are only into oral and liquid consumption. This is what the company does. Now there's a lot of information. If you want me to create slide based presentation for this kind of information where I share in bullet points what this company does and what this doesn't and what kind of markets they are in rather than just showing the page, let me know if that will be more helpful to convey the information, or if this is the kind of video by scrolling their website and showing the markets and everything. If this helps you, this is well enough for you, then we'll continue the same thing. But if you think creating slide-based presentation will help you out more, let me know in the comment section. We'll definitely move into that direction as well. So I need your support and feedback for that, those kind of improvements in the video, which you think will be more helpful for you to understand the entire concept. So discuss. We have seen the markets. We have seen the different kind of diseases what this company creates medicine for. Just for example, I'll tell you, think of a neurological disorder. There are disorders like epilepsy, then they have something like we'll scroll down further, dementia, then they have further something like stroke. So for everything they have medicine. For example, for stroke they have Solumac, and then if you go further, then for they have this particular dementia. For dementia they have medicine called Donase and Piraval. For neurology they have Voldep, Gabela, and Ametopit alpha. So the different medicines they have, and likewise, this is one example I showed you. Likewise, the medicine for all the different segments they have. So this is what the company do in a nutshell. They are into formulation business and they are into marketing the products by their own brand names also. So we'll discuss. We'll come to that later. Just give me a moment for that. The brands and everything. It is a formulation business. If you see, these are markets. Manufacturing facilities they have two. One is Goa and one is Southport, UK. So this is the business in a whole. Let's see the acquisitions, what they have done, and the kind of OTC and brands they have. So we'll just see here. Their key focus area lies in OTC, over the counter, and prescription drugs, which you see in the prescriptions written RX. So that is prescription based drugs. The fields for their target already seen that oncology, gastroenterology, anti-diabetic, antibiotics, cardiovascular, pain management, gynecology, among others. Revenue mix, if you see, so they have around 30% revenue. I'll just scroll up. So they have around 30% revenue from pain management, 18% from anti-diabetic, 15% comes from cardiovascular systems, and 30% comes from cough and cold, and rest of the remaining comes from gastrointestinal and central nervous systems. Product basket, they have more than 100 therapeutic segments. Okay, and they have over 80 products in their product basket. UK and US are the largest customers, contributing 42% and 43% respectively out of 25 countries. They have acquired 4 different brands also, through which they market directly to consumers in UK and US also. Right. So if you see, they have forward integration models. So for integration, when we say they create the product and then sell the products using some acquisition channels in their market like US and UK. So that's why we say they are forward integrated and they are not backward integrated. When we talk about backward integrated, there are companies like IOL, sorry, this IOL Chemical and Fertilizers. So it's a backward integrated company, but this company is forward integrated based company. So they manufacture and they sell also directly to the consumer. So that's why they call forward integrated business model. Now how they sell? So they have they acquired Relochem, and Relochem they use to sell product in the UK. So Relochem has 160 product licenses, and Marksman Pharma acquired in 2008, and they use this particular company to sell in the case of UK. For this they use Bales Healthcare also for the UK market. They have a brand called Nova Pharmaceuticals for Australian company. They have Time Caps Lab, which they acquired in the for US market. Their future outlook also like 2000 crores of revenue in the next few years. This is the future outlook what the company is saying. Right? Now, this is what the company does in a nutshell. What is all about? What kind of marketing channels it uses? What kind of acquisitions it has done? And what is the way they are going forward? So, the 2000 crore market thing we'll talk about later. So let's jump into the fundamentals. So fundamentally, if you see, this company is a very small cap company. So in terms of one term in the stock market, you can say this company is a penny stock because the market cap is close to small cap and less than small cap. Okay, so 57 is the current price, external price. The video is getting created at 8:59, so 9 o'clock. The market is just about to open. The stock P is 9.43, very attractive. ROC is 38.9, ROE is 31.2. Promoter holding is relatively less, 48.2, and that is something which bothers me about this company. The only thing which bothers me about this company, the promoter holding. If I'm talking about promoter holding and something which bothers me, let's directly go to the shareholding patterns. This is shareholding pattern here. Public has 48.58%. We just expand here just to showcase that there is nothing loop in that. So I'll just scroll down a little bit. I'll show you the shareholding pattern again. So public has around 47% stake in this company, where promoter has 48.25 stake in this company. So that is something which is bothering, because retail investors are equal to promoter investors. So whenever there is a crash in the price, some kind of bad news, people start selling, offloading a lot of stock, and the price will crash even further. So this is something which is bothering about it. But the way company is moving forward, I'm seeing that slowly over the period of time, FIs and DIs will get involved, and there's a lot of things which happen in this particular company. There's a pattern which I'm seeing that can happen in the future. This video will not be right platform for discussing what can happen in terms of promoter holding and public holding, what can transpire in the future, how the things will change. So for that, I'll create a different video. You can let in the comment section if that is something which you want to understand. This is not based on financial, this is not based on business, this is based on some kind of understanding how things can transpire in the future if the way these numbers are placed. Okay, let's jump to the quarterly results and everything. So profit and loss, if you see, this company was doing a sales of 359 crores 10 years back, 11 years back, and now this is doing sales of 1,400 crores. So that's more than 3 times of growth in the last 10 years. That's exceptional growth. If you see last 3 years only, they almost doubled their revenue from 767 crores. They have done 1,400 crores. So almost double in the case of last 4 years. If you see, their operating profit margin has also been quite increasing. It was negative and slowly 6%, 9%, 13%, 17%. They're also doing quite good over there. And if you see net profit also, they were losing money, and then slowly they started making money, and they lost over here, and then slowly they're increasing a lot, and now it has increased a lot from 9 crores. They have increased 247 crores in the span of 6 years or 5 years. So that is a good amount of growth, very good amount of growth. You see, balance sheet, the borrowings was very high, 424 crores, and they have reduced drastically from there, and they reached up to a point of 30 crores. But due to pandemic and expansion, they are trying more loans, but they have only 41 crore of debts. But if you see cash equivalent for this company, so cash equivalent, if you see here, this company's cash equivalent is close to 323 crores. So when a figure of 323 crores is their cash, in terms of that debt is only 41 crores. This company has becomes virtually debt-free company. So back to the fundamentals. So this company is a virtually debt-free company. This company has a stock P/E 9.43 and ROC of 38.9 and 31.2. So all this fundamental number looks very, very good. This company has a very good capex plan. The capex plan is almost 200 crores in next 3 years. They are at a 70% utilization. So I'll just write these things down so that it becomes more clear for you. So this company is basically Marksans Pharma. So I'll just write these things for you. So they have a capex plan of 200 crores for 200 crores for next 3 years, right? And they have a plan of they have a 70% utilization which is going right now for this company. Okay. And they have a plan of reaching up to revenue of 2000 crores in next 3 years, right? So this is the kind of growth this company is looking for. There are three very important points. You see, 200 crore they want to invest. So 200 crore capex are right. They want to invest for next 3 years. 70% the capacity utilization they have. And 2000 crores the revenue what they are trying to reach in 3 years. So if you see these 3 points and you see the fundamental numbers like the stock P and ROC, ROE, this company has a great potential, and this company is going in the right direction, and this company can be a very, very good long-term investment. If you stay invested in this company, don't panic, because the shareholding of retail investors is very high, and they select panic situations are based on news. So don't follow the news, follow the fundamentals and everything, and then invest in this company. If you need more information, if you need to understand how this retail investors and promoters ratio impact, let me know in the comments. I'll create a different video on that. So this was my personal analysis. This is my personal opinion. I find this stock very good for long term. If you have a different opinion, you let me in the comment section. We can think about if there's something to discuss. We'll discuss about it. And thank you so much for watching the video. Stay happy, stay safe, and we'll see you later in the next video. Thank you so much.